How's it going, everyone? I'm Marky coming back at you once again, and today we're going to be discussing Batman and Robin, Volume 2, Batman vs. Robin by Grant Morrison. Let's get into it. The first storyline is titled Blackest Night, and it features art by Cameron Stewart. Batman and Squire, they stop a bomb threat in London that ends up saving one of Pearlie's goons. As a result, Batman ends up traveling to the Tower of London prison, where he speaks with the currently imprisoned Pearlie, and Pearlie tells Batman via dominoes how to get through a maze that will ultimately lead to a hidden Lazarus pit. So Batman and Squire, they head to the abandoned mine, where Knight is already waiting with the body of Bruce Wayne. As they're making their way to the Lazarus pit, they stumble across the cult of religion, or the religion of crime, and in the side of a casket is trapped Batwoman. Batwoman breaks out of the casket, and they all take on like these miners, not children, but like miners, like coal miners or whatever, that are Pearlie's adversaries. So whatever. Anyway, Batwoman gets free. They beat back the miners, and they explain what they're doing there. And of course, Batwoman, she's like, I don't know about this guy. We shouldn't be putting Batman, because she doesn't know he's Bruce Wayne. We shouldn't be putting Batman in the Lazarus pit. This sounds like a bad idea, guys. But as it turns out, it's already too late. Bruce Wayne has been cooking away in that Lazarus pit for a couple of hours now, and he emerges, and something's not quite right. Meanwhile, Damian Wayne is getting a new spine transplant from his mother, Talia al Ghul, and her organization, so Damian's going to be back on his feet in no time. The next issue is titled Batman vs. Batman. I wonder why. We start off with a quick recap on how Batwoman got to the mine in the first place. Batman emerges from the Lazarus pit, and he takes on Batman, Knight, Squire, and Batwoman, all in a big combat scene in which he tries to kill them all. Dick deduces that this is not the real Bruce Wayne. It can't be. The fighting style is all wrong. And it's here where we get like a flashback to Darkseid. There was a couple issues I was complaining about back in my Batman RIP review. It was like Batman Last Rites or whatever, a Final Crisis tie-in, where there was these two doctors and they had all these Batman clones, and they were injecting them with like Bruce's memories, but it caused the clones to go insane. Well, it turns out that this body of Batman that Dick Grayson had was one of those insane clones and not the real Bruce Wayne. So we get to see how that's all set up with Darkseid and all that. So I guess that's nice. So while all this is going on, Pearlie's rival, he detonates the mine, collapsing it, and Batwoman gets crushed, and she is near death. The fake Batman escaped the mine, and he heads back to Gotham, where he takes out Alfred and confronts a wheelchair-bound Damian Wayne. The next issue is titled Broken. After digging through the rubble, Knight and Squire, they end up catching up with like Dick and Batwoman she's dead. And Dick reveals here that he gave her morphine, and she intentionally overdosed on the morphine so she would die, with the plan being that they would throw her into the Lazarus pit and she would be resurrected. And wouldn't you know it, it works like a charm. We get an extended fight scene here with Alfred and Damian taking on the zombie Batman. And here we get a scene where this Batman clone, who was like injected or whatever with all of Bruce Wayne's memories, a little bit of Bruce Wayne comes through here where he's talking to Damian, and he tells Damian that Damian was his biggest mistake, and how Ra's al Ghul and Talia sent Damian here to replace him, and he's like ashamed of Damian. It's a real sad scene for all you Damian lovers out there. And you gotta wonder, how much of it was true? Was that a little bit of the Bruce Wayne memories and thoughts coming through? Or was it just BS? You could decide. So after Batwoman is resurrected, they fly off back to Gotham just in time because, zombie Batman, he throws Damian off the top of Wayne Tower, and as Damian's fallen to his death, Batman, Dick Grayson, swoops in and catches him and says, like, oh, what would you do without me? My timing's impeccable. So Dick Grayson, Batman, and Batwoman, they end up defeating zombie Batman with the help of Damian Wayne and Alfred, and Batwoman is left wondering why would zombie Batman go to Wayne Tower of all places. Dick says maybe one day she'll find out. And at the end of this issue, Dick, Alfred, and Damian, they're all in the Bat bunker, and Dick comes to the conclusion that since the body that they believed to be Bruce's ended up being a fake, the real body's got to be out there. And what if Bruce wasn't dead at all? What if he was displaced in time? Makes you think. The next 3-issue arc is titled Batman vs. Robin. It says the return of Bruce Wayne begins here. Part 1 is titled The Haunting of Wayne Manor. The issue starts off with Damian Wayne heading up a meeting at Wayne Enterprises, and he wants the board of directors to look into some money. That's the math isn't adding up. Someone's stealing from Wayne Enterprises, and Damian wants to get to the bottom of it. Meanwhile, Batman is meeting with Oberon Sexton in his hotel room, and Sexton is telling him all about how all the people that the Domino Killer has killed were members of the organization known as the Black Glove, and he believes that Bruce Wayne is next on the hit list. And it's here where we learn that Jezebel Jet is missing and presumed dead. Batman and Robin and Alfred, they start looking for clues that Bruce may have left behind from the past in Wayne Manor. Alfred has put up all the photos of the Wayne patriarchs throughout the generations, all on a wall. For the first time, they're in sequential order, and they start to notice some of them really resemble Bruce. One photo, notable by its absence, was said to be of an older Thomas Wayne, who was known as the Black Sheep of the Wayne family, who was like a devil worshiper. Anyway, while searching for clues, Damian is all of a sudden activated by Talia al Ghul, because it turns out that with his new spine, he got a little bit of extra hardware installed in him, where he's able to be played like a puppet by his mother. And of course, she wants Dick Grayson, Batman, dead. So once Damian is activated, he grabs a sword and he's about to, slice Dick in two, when Dick avoids the blow because he falls into like a secret bat cave in a weak part of the floor. Damian, confused by what's going on, he decides he's going to run outside, where he is grabbed by Oberon Sexton, who's on Wayne Manor property, because he himself is running from some hitmen that were sent to kill him by Dr. Simon Hurt. The next issue is titled Boneyard. Starts off with Dr. Simon Hurt. He's leaving where he was in hiding and in recuperation, and he's flying back to Gotham. Damian and Sexton, they take out El Penitente's hitmen, while Dick continues to explore beneath Wayne Manor. Damian, fighting alongside Sexton, they're really listening to his voice and stuff, comes to the conclusion that it could be none other than Bruce Wayne under that mask. Talia al Ghul is shown bringing in Deathstroke, Slade Wilson, so he could be the one to finally kill his arch-rival, Dick Grayson, via Damian and his spinal control. The next issue is titled Mexican Train. Batman ends up defeating Robin after Robin reveals that it's Slade Wilson who's the one controlling him, so Batman is able to, use his Bat Gauntlet's electricity to shock Damian's heart, which in turn shocked Slade Wilson's heart, and took Slade out, and that's how he was able to defeat him. This is where the 99 Fiends end up showing up, where they steal an important clue about the return of Bruce Wayne that Dick discovered underneath the banner in the previous issue. So once all the dust settles, Dick and Damian, they fly to Talia's hideout to confront her about the whole spinal cord issue, where Talia shows Damian that he's not an only child. She has another clone of Damian ready to go should this Damian fail her. And Damian decides that he wants to stay as Robin, so Talia basically disowns him and says, you know what, from now on, you're going to be an enemy of House Al Ghul. And Damian says, well, Mother, I hope I can be a worthy one. So poor Damian is getting kicked around by Zombie Bruce, and now Talia disowns him. Does anybody like this guy? We are then shown Dr. Hurt has arrived in Gotham, and he's getting all the local gangsters together because he's getting ready to bring Gotham to its knees. And here, at the big finale of the issue, Dick Grayson confronts Oberyn Sexton, and he puts together all the clues to figure out who is under that mask. I won't reveal it here. You got to read it yourself. But it's pretty clever, and good stuff. So as far as things I liked about this volume, I really enjoyed the art by both Cameron Stewart and Andy Clark. I felt it was really good. Cameron Stewart in particular had really great action breakdown scenes that would like go on for pages of like detailed fights. Really impressive stuff. I enjoyed the inclusion of Batwoman here, and it really ties in with her own story going on where she's taking on the religion of crime and the crime Bible and all that stuff. And all Grant made all that tie into this. Really, really enjoyable. I liked how Dick took to heart what Jason Todd told him in the previous volume, that why don't you just throw Bruce in the Lazarus pit? The world needs Batman. Why are you pretending to be Batman when you could have the real Batman back? And that really stuck with Dick. So he went against Alfred and Damian. He went rogue, so to speak, and he dumped that body into the Lazarus pit, only to find out that it wasn't even Bruce's real body. The tragedy here of Damian Wayne. He's an asshole, yes, but, he is just a 10-year-old kid. And when you got that zombie clone of Bruce telling him that Damian was his biggest regret, his biggest mistake, and then in like the next issue or whatever, or the next storyline, his mother disowns him, says, you know what, Damian? I got a replacement of you. I don't need you. So, fuck right off. Again, this kid is getting kicked around. His dad's dead. You got to feel for the guy. I enjoyed seeing Knight and Squire. I wouldn't mind actually reading maybe a mini-series of just them. I feel like they got a good dynamic over there in England. And then the first story arc here, we get to see a lot of the British villains, like Pearly and the other guy. There's a whole list of names of villains that's revealed. So I feel like there's some ground to tread there or whatever. But there might have been a Knight and Squire series. I don't even remember. With the whole return of Bruce Wayne starting here in this volume with the Wayne Manor and the clues and stuff, it's really intriguing. I think Return of Bruce Wayne is going to come up next in the reading order here that I'm doing. So I'm looking forward to getting back into that. Yeah, the whole thing with Thomas Wayne being the black sheep of the family really stuck out to me here. I got some thoughts about it. I won't get into it here because I want to see if I'm right or not. But I'm looking forward to seeing where that plotline goes next. And of course, the reveal of who Sexton was. I knew who it was. I remembered it. As soon as I saw Sexton show up, I was like, oh yeah, he's going to be, that guy, right? And of course, it totally makes sense with Sexton going around killing all the members of the Black Glove and then being like the Domino Killer or whatever. It all makes sense. And it makes for a satisfying conclusion to this volume. So with all that being said, surprising nobody, this volume is getting a 5 out of 5. It seems like Grant Morrison can't do any wrong. And here I came back into my Grant Morrison reread, thinking that the run was going to be ruined by the New 52. Haven't gotten there yet, but I've been really impressed with his work here. It's outshining all the other stuff in the Bat family that's been going on at this time period, in my opinion. Because I'm reading some of the Tony Daniels stuff and the Judd Winnick stuff, and it's like filler, whereas this is all thriller. So can't wait to keep reading. And until next time, I'll see you there.